In this video, we're going to transform this blank back wall by adding a floating shelf. So I first start off by measuring the wall. It's 11 feet, 5 inches, so it's a little bit off-centered, and it's 9 foot high. If you can see the outlet on the bottom, I know there's a stud either to the left or the right, so here I'm trying to find that stud, and the stud is just to the left of that outlet. I tried using these metal to wood screws to install it. Unfortunately, you're going to see that it doesn't work. I do use these Tapcons, the smaller ones, for the framing itself. So here I'm just using metal stud or aluminum stud. And my measurements were to make this floating shelf 4 feet long by 9 inches wide. That's before adding drywall to it. I'm using the C-clamps here just to hold my studs in place so I can screw it in easier. I'll provide links on the description for you guys to check them out. Now, as I noticed as I'm screwing in these studs that it still has movement on that back support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add screws at a diagonal zigzag pattern. These are just drywall screws. Nothing special about them, but just trying to give it more stability. So this is the floating shelf. Again, it's about 4 foot wide by 9 inches deep. And I don't plan on putting anything heavy on the shelf. So here I just rough cut the drywall. That's not making a big difference. This is the old piece that I had laying around. So I'm kind of shaving it down for it to fit. And then I'm going to add my end pieces. Now this part I'm using a special type of corner bead that has a backing behind it. So it's not just regular paper tape, but it's also not metal corner bead or plastic corner bead. It's more of a composite. And I'm just cutting to length. Try to make sure that all the tips or the ends kind of meet up where it squares it off. I'm doing it for the top and the bottom. And once I get all my measurements cut and all my corners cut out, I'm gonna move on to the mudding stage of it. So now I'm using 5-minute quick set, just mixing it up. I'm gonna put it on very generously here. And it's a pretty application, pretty straightforward. You're just kind of straightening everything out. I'm actually pinching the sides to allow that compound to be exposed on either side of that tape so it holds better and bonds better. Now my back wall is actually textured and I did not want to texture the shelf or try to blend it. So instead of angle taping it, I'm just going to flat tape it with some mesh tape. And before I paint it, I'll go ahead and caulk that later, but I'm just flat taping those edges. And here I'm putting my first coat with the 5-minute. Just using a 10 and a 6-inch knife. So to speed up the drying process, I go ahead and I'm going to hit it with the heat gun for a little bit, just to help it set up faster. And now I'm hitting it with my second coat. Again, going the same way with it, just making sure that it's all squared off. And my third coat, I'm going to go ahead and use a topping, a +3. It's thinned down quite a bit, and this is going to be a real full tight layer. And this time I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to pull out any lines or lap marks that there might be, making sure that I'm going in the opposite direction, square everything off as much as I can. And we'll let this dry overnight. So this is a basic floating shelf. What it looks like after. Look out for the next video where we're going to decorate it. In the next video we're going to make this a full wood finish. So if you have any questions on this process, let me know. Stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching.